Hello, welcome to today's edition of the Morning Cup of Joe. Today, I'm going to go back to the old archives of some blogs I used to write. So, have you ever felt lightheaded, dizzy, or even slur your words after several hours without food, or even after a long workout? How about just feeling awful, miserable? That was me several times. The first time it happened to me was after an all-day mountain bike ride nearly 8 years ago. I had water, but it was hot. I had food, but we burned through lots of glycogen, read glucose, that day. When we were done, we went to the lake to cool off immediately. That felt good. But I began to feel worse and worse after that, and I did not know why. I mean, I was like lying on the ground in pain, I didn't know. It wasn't until I had a big bowl of spaghetti and meat sauce that I began to feel better. And it dawned on me, oh my gosh, I bonked. The second time was in 2012. I just ran a 50K. And they say you have to train to eat for these things. But I'm like, whatever. I can eat whenever. And I plan to be running anywhere between 6 and 8 hours. And I hardly trained for 31 miles, let alone not training to eat. But I finished. I finished in 8 hours. And after that, I was just awful. I didn't eat anything on that run for 8 hours. I ate like maybe a quarter of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and whatever mixture I had in my hydration pack, which wasn't much. I just didn't want to eat. And started the 3-hour drive home that night from the 50K. And I stopped at Sheetz. I got roasted chicken sub and immediately began to feel just a little bit better. I bonked again, but that's just not it. There's several times when I went out and I busted out a 10-mile run or even a 5 or 10-mile run, and it'd be a glycolytic run. I'd be running for like an hour, and I'd get home and I'd just be just awful. I'd be dizzy. Like I said, my words would be slurring. I wouldn't know what I'm doing. I'm sure you've been there before. The hungrier you get hangry. Hangry is a thing, right? My body needed fuel at that point. I was a sugar burner, 100%. But what do you do? What happens if food's not available? Because we live in a time where food is available all the time. So what do you do when food's not available and you're in those moments? What happens? Tomorrow I'm going to talk about that. How can you end the bonk? Because you can end the bonk.